Welcome to Learning English Through Podcasts, a daily 10-minute program from the Lock One English podcast. This program is designed for English learners, so we speak a little slower and we use words and phrases, especially written for people learning English. On this program, Andrew Smith answers a listener's question about the difference between so and knit. Jill Robbins and John Russell tell about ways to intensify or downtone adverbs. Andrew is back to tell us about America's first national park. Then we finish The Open Boat by Stephen Crane on American Stories. But first, this week on Ask a Teacher, we answer a question from Ruhala in Afghanistan about using the words so and knit and related terms. I am sending this email to know what the differences are between sewing and knitting or sew and knit. Besides that, I wanted to know what I can call a woman or a man that makes clothes. Thank you. I'm happy to answer this question, Ruhala. An important difference between sewing and knitting is that when we sew, we connect pieces of fabric or cloth that are already made. When we knit, we make the cloth itself from strings called yarn. Also, the word sewing can describe many ways people connect or repair fabric and clothes. For example, people can sew many kinds of clothes such as socks, shirts, dresses, hats, and gloves. People can also sew larger things such as window coverings or tents. A person can sew using a sewing machine or simply by using their hands with a needle and thread. Knitting does not generally require use of a machine or a needle and thread. A person uses thicker strings called yarn along with two thin sticks called knitting needles. Yarn is usually made of small natural pieces called fibers such as wool or cotton. While sewing thread is often less than 1 millimeter thick, knitting yarn is generally 2 to 5 millimeters thick. Many people who knit make clothing for cold weather, such as wool sweaters, hats, and scarves. They may also knit blankets or other things that can be used in the home. More than 50 years ago, most Americans who earned money sewing clothes in a factory were women. They were called seamstresses. Today, we sometimes call any person who sews a sewer, or we can simply say a person who sews. And a person whose job is to sew or repair clothes to make them fit well is called a tailor. For our readers and listeners, what are your questions about American English? Do you like to knit or sew? We want to hear from you. Send us an email at learningenglish@vonos.com, and please let us know where you are from too. And that's Ask a Teacher. I'm Andrew Smith. From Lock One Learning English, this is Everyday Grammar. Imagine you are at a business meeting. You have just presented a plan to your business partners. They want to give suggestions for how to make your plan better. The conversation might sound like this. I really like your plan. Yes, it's pretty good, but it needs a little revising. Of course, you did a very good job, but you might need to consider a few more points. Yes, it will probably be more effective if you highlight the staffing requirements and expand on the budget. Whether you like business or not, this conversation gives you important grammar information that you can use in just about any situation. In particular, the exchange offers examples of some of the most important adverbs that you will hear in everyday speech. This week, we will explore special adverbs that increase or decrease the force of a statement. These adverbs are sometimes called amplifiers or downtoners. Adverbs are words that modify or change the meaning of adjectives, verbs, and sometimes entire sentences. They are often used to show time, a way of doing something, place, or degree. Some kinds of adverbs act as amplifiers. The word amplify means to make something stronger. So these amplifiers make the meaning of an adjective or sentence stronger. In American English, amplifiers have three common uses: increasing intensity, expressing certainty, and showing precision. Words such as really and very are among the most common that increase the intensity of a statement. They usually modify an adjective. Take the adjective good. For example, imagine you are trying some food that your friends cooked. Perhaps you want to tell them the food is good. You could increase the intensity of your statement by using the word very. This food is very good. You could express certainty by using an amplifier such as definitely. This is definitely the best food I've ever had. Or you could use an amplifier to show precision. At exactly 5:13 p.m. on February 6th, I ate the best food I've ever had in my life. Other kinds of adverbs act as downtoners. Downtoners are the opposite of amplifiers. They reduce the force of a statement or express doubt. In other words, they set the tone of a statement. You can remember the term downtoner by thinking about what it does, toning down a statement. Downtoners have three common functions: reducing intensity, expressing doubt, or showing imprecision. Three common downtoners in conversational English are pretty, maybe, and probably. Take our earlier example. This food is good. If you want to reduce the intensity of your statement, you could say, this food is pretty good. You could show doubt or raise questions by saying, this is maybe the best food I've ever had, or this is probably the best food I've ever had.